Well, hi there, and welcome to SoWat TV. It's June 23rd. I think it's a rerun. I'm not sure. 2010. I'm Chip, and I'm so glad you're here because we have a really fun show. It's a night of confessions. Wallace Baine is here to talk about his new book, Rhymes with Baine, and he's going to confess to us where he gets his ideas. John Robinson will be joining us. He's in the play Mountain Community Theater's production of Edward Albee's The Goat, or So Who is Sylvia? His confessions aren't suitable for children, and Dina Scoppettone is here to confess her long-standing crush on me. Stick around, we'll be right back. This has been on the bookshelf. It was on the bookshelf for a couple of days, and then it was off the bookshelf, sold out. Rhymes
fantastic,
with
congratulations.
Baine. And you've been all over the place plugging the book and reading to everybody. How's it going?
It's been a lot of fun, it really has. I've gotten a lot of positive vibes out of it, and I hope to continue to do that.
You had a reading at the bookshop, which I hear was wall to wall. I could tell you I was there. You probably wouldn't know it, that I wasn't.
I wouldn't know it.
It was
I didn't
great.
see past
I loved
here.
it. I saw you up on John Sandage's show last week, Bruce Bratton's show. Who gives the best interview as an interviewer?
You're still on the clock, so
Yeah.
you're still in there.
I'm still in the running?
Yeah.
Sweet. Have you read it yet?
I had the benefit of starting it, and I'm saving it for the plane, and I had the benefit of listening to Wallace recount through a few of the stories, which I really enjoyed. And in fact, when I got home, I handed it off to my mom and dad, to Jim and Sherry. And next thing you know, it just sort of got scooped up into you know, their world, and so I've got to get it back from them. I've given it to them through the weekend.
Dina, by the way, is the photographer of the cover.
That's what I thought. It looks like a Dina shot.
Thanks. It is. You recognize the look and feel with that. Fabulous.
What's interesting thing about that is that really the whole thing started from the image. This was the night of the Gail Rich Awards. And
oh, really?
That was the first and only time in my life I've been in a tuxedo.
Is that true? True enough.
Yes, it's true. It's literally true.
Really? Well, you look great.
Dina said, "Come on, I want to take your pictures." So she took some pictures. I didn't know what she was doing. What if you could read my mind in this picture? I'm like, what is this woman? What is her vision here? What is she trying to do to me?
It was. It all happened pretty fast, didn't it, Wallace?
Did.
You just got to let go and trust that Dina's gonna.
But I saw that image, and then after the image came the title, and then after the title came the book. So it was kind of a weird kind of.
And you say after the title came the book, but the book is a compilation of a number of your columns, blogs,
over the past 10 years,
writings from the Sentinel. You've been at the Sentinel basically since it was founded, right?
Since the Ulysses Grant administration.
Since the Grant administration, and just let me do this for a minute. You're such a treasure in this community because it's such a fun read, and it's so Santa Cruz. You know, it's so very much about us here now, and I love it, and I'm just delighted every time you put something out.
I gave it to my mother, and she read it, and the first thing she said to me was, "Oh my, ultra liberal son." I got 3 ultras out of that.
Ultra.
Is that what you got out of that? I didn't get that out of that.
You know? To that point, there's a piece in here, Another Morning in America, you wrote at the end of the Bush administration that it was included that John Sandage, Sleepy John, invited you to read on K-Pig, and it was perhaps a little ultra for even the Sentinel.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Do you play that line a lot? Do you walk on the? I mean, you have philosophy that comes through it. You have your own political musings come through. Do you ever have to rein it in, or? Well, because you're appealing to a broad audience.
That was really.
That's the safe way to say it.
That had a lot to do with the circumstances. We all remember 2003, 2004, you know, that period. There were a lot of angry people who wanted to vent, and I guess I was one of them. My approach to the Sunday column in the newspaper has always been to include humor, to kind of take a broad perspective and not pound the table with a bunch of political stuff, because I just don't think that's the spot to do that. But John wanted me to do exactly that on K-Pig, so I did, and I said some very nasty things about some very powerful people, and I've probably been blacklisted in 6 countries now because
Sorry.
of it. Yeah.
You've already got a file somewhere.
There's probably CIA in this room somewhere.
Speaking of 6 countries, Dina, you're heading to London.
Off I go on Tuesday, and you can't get rid of me that easily. I'll be coming back, in fact, a couple weeks later.
What's going on there?
There's the Corinthia West Gallery, which I'll go and visit to see the work that's on a fabulous collection of portraits in black and white that Corinthia herself shot, among other photographers who focus primarily on the artists who are celebrities in music and painting. Mick Jagger and the cast of painters throughout London over the past 4 decades. So I'll get some inspiration.
That'll be fun.
And perhaps even get the benefit of planning a show there for perhaps the Faces of Santa Cruz, which would be terrific to see Wallace, yourself, fellas, from the surf scene, and gals, coming from the universities. So many different people I've photographed.
Right.
I mean, really super characters. Just fantastic. I just want to celebrate every one of them. So perhaps Santa Cruz will go to London.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll have us?
It could come to that.
Sure. Speaking of, I mentioned there were going to be some confessions. I have a confession, sort of a confession, and I want to dispel some rumor. I am not a slave to fashion. And I know that may be a surprise. But
that's Kirby.
Well, it's all relative. I don't know much about style, but I suspect that you have a lot of style, just from what I know, looking at your photography, looking at you, looking at knowing you. I suspect you have a lot of style, though I don't know much about it. Is that hard living here in Santa Cruz to have so much style?
It's great because my heritage comes from my grandma Dina, my namesake.
Right.
And her sister, my Auntie Bruna, who's turning 99 in a matter of days.
Really?
And in fact,
she's going to go out and party it up?
She does, and she's always dressed, and she's in her garden, and she's always very matter of fact that if she's meant to go to lunch with her grandson or her boyfriend, that the fellow wear a tie.
Right.
And I think that's a way of demonstrating actively respect for
I told Wallace to wear a tie tonight, and he didn't listen.
Well, same. I mean,
right.
Actually, that wouldn't really be me. Although that's a good look. I have been known to sport my dad's ties in the classroom.
Right.
And that keeps the students awake.
Speaking of the classroom, you were named a fellow up at Kresge recently. Is that
at
true?
the Cal College at UC Santa Cruz?
College.
You'd think Kresge because it's so gorgeous over
Kresge.
there. But Cal's fantastic too.
So what does that mean to be a fellow?
That means that there is real camaraderie that gets to be enjoyed among the professors and visiting academics internationally. And that really, for me, is something that's quite sentimental because I'm an alum of the Cal College.
Right.
And so the folks who are there, they were my teachers. And so many of them influenced me into what I do in my work today. So it's really interesting to be kind of a grown-up now. And
are you a grown-up? Is that fellow
yeah.
kind of?
That's what came with it, I guess.
So it's a big deal.
For me, it was a lot of fun getting a chance to go and walk at the graduation again, and you don the vestments and the kind of hats and all of the again, you've got fashion.
Right.
And I really enjoyed it from the point of view of it being a ritual as well, ceremony. It's a rare opportunity.
Well, I think they only half did it, so I finished it. Here's the deal. We pronounce you, and so can we get a shot of this? So what we want to pronounce you both jolly and good to go along with that fellowship. So,
thanks.
And I wanted to put a
double
seal,
degree. Very nice.
I wanted to put a seal on it to make it official, but it's actually a sea lion because that's all I could come up with.
Oh,
so,
right, that is.
So now
fantastic.
You're officially a jolly good fella. So congratulations on that.
Well, thanks. That is a wonderful compliment. I accept it heartily.
And whatever it means to be a fellow. Are you a fellow? Do you know what that means?
I'm a guy.
You're
That's
a guy.
kind of
You're more of a dude.
I'm not fellow,
Yeah, you're kind of a dude.
A fella,
Fella. Yeah, I'm just a sucker. But, it's all something.
Did you spell Scoppettone correctly, though?
I think so. Did I?
Right, 2 P's, 2 T's. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Did I do it? Did I spell jolly and good right?
Apparently 2 L's, 2 O's. Oh, yes.
I'm not a very good speller. I looked through this book for spelling errors. I couldn't find any. I think it was very, very well done.